Syrian rebels captured the key city of Hama yesterday. They're quickly closing on President Bashar al-Assad and the capital, Damascus. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joins me now. All right, General, if the Assad regime falls, and it's looking pretty shaky, would that be good news for Israel?
Yeah, overall, it certainly would, but there's likely going to be mixed feelings here. First of all, Syria is a client of Iran, and it was into Damascus airport for years that Iran would fly all the rockets and missiles and other munitions that Hezbollah in Lebanon needed. Israel at times would attack those munitions when they were put into warehouses or when they were put into trucks with their fighter aircraft at times. Also, coming out of Iraq from Iran, they would drive literally across the entire Syrian country with munitions, rockets, and missiles also on the ground to get them to the Hezbollah. And that's why the Hezbollah accumulated 130 to 150,000 weapons. And at times, the Syrians tried to establish Hezbollah bases north of Israel, and Israel would attack them with fighter aircraft. So if the Assad regime falls, which itself is a stunning surprise, but if it does happen, that client state, supporting Iran is removed. However, this is a derivative of al-Qaeda that's taken over, radical Islamists. Yeah. They are not moderate opposition forces who want democracy, quite the opposite. And it remains to be seen what kind of mischief they would cause with Israel being right on their border. And the Israelis will watch this like a hawk.
I can't help but think of all the money that has been wasted in recent years. Money for rockets and tunnels and all that, and drones and what have you. Constant fighting, constant warfare throughout the Mideast. All that money's wasted. Could have been used for something good.
No, there's no doubt about it. If you go back to 1948, after the UN helped establish the state of Israel and bring it all forward, the amount of money and suffering through many, many decades is truly horrific. All over one central issue, the existence of the state of Israel.
That's it. That's it. On Wednesday, Ukraine's ambassador met with J.D. Vance and Trump's national security advisor pick, Mike Waltz. Trump has promised to end the war quickly. Do you sense that we're close to a peace deal in Ukraine?
No, I think we're in the very early stages of it. The ambassador met, and also Chief of Staff Yermak to President Zelensky was there, who is the second most powerful person in Ukraine and really does a lot of policy formulation for President Zelensky to make decisions about. It was an important meeting for them to meet with the Trump team. And I spoke to them yesterday. I happened to be in the Ukrainian embassy, and the feedback that they provided to me from the meeting they had with the Trump team led by J.D. Vance was very positive. They were encouraged. They were being treated as an ally, a partner, and certainly being asked how the Trump team can help them. And they wanted to know a lot about Putin. Where is he? Where does he stand? And what do you think the strategy is with Putin? And the facts are pretty clear when it comes to Putin. He looks at a peace agreement accompanied by a ceasefire as a temporary pause for him to eventually take Ukraine and own that country. That's the way he will look at it. That's the way he's looked at it always in the past, violated all ceasefires, always taking advantage on the ground of ceasefires, whether they were in Ukraine from 2014 on or ceasefires dealing with Syria. Constant violation of them. That's his approach. He never changes his objectives. He looks at a peace agreement as just a pause. It allows him to regroup, rearm, and eventually reattack.
That sounds grim. We've just got this coming into us, General. The Financial Times reports that the president of Israel spoke to Elon Musk this week. He wants Musk's help to revive hostage negotiations. What has Musk got to do with the hostages?
Probably not much, but this came from the families of the hostages in discussions with President Herzog, who's taken a keen interest in the families themselves and spends time with them. I think it's an act of desperation, I'm sure, on their part, trying to pull out all the stops. They know he's close to Trump, but look at On X, I mean, the following he has is somewhere around, if the numbers are correct, I mean, what I saw was somewhere around 60 to 80 million followers on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So the social media reach that he has is enormous, and that may be one of the motivations.
Yeah.
Look, this is a very tough situation for these families. Hostages in a dire situation, you know, where their own health is clearly at risk, and due to the hostilities that have taken place, we've already seen how they've gotten caught up in that and have been killed in those hostilities. So you can imagine how they feel.
I can indeed.
They're looking for anything to help them. That's what's going on here.
Wouldn't we all? General Jack Keane, thanks for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure. We'll see you again soon. Thank you, General.